Alright, in this video we're going to look at the measures of center and spread. Now we've already talked a little bit about the measures of center, mean and median. So those are two different measures for the center. The mean is the average. It's found by adding all the data values and dividing by the number of values. The median is the middle value of the data set when the numbers are arranged least to greatest. Alright, measures of spread. So one of my measures of spread is range. Another one is the interquartile range, or IQR. Range is the difference between the two extremes. So it's found by taking the largest value and subtracting the smallest value. So if I have this data set given below 1, 2, 2, 3, 3, 4, 4, 5, 6, 6, 7, 7, 8, 8, 9, my range would be the largest number 9 minus the smallest number 1, which gives me a range of 8. The interquartile range is quartile 3 minus quartile 1. Well, quartile 1, or Q1, is the median of the lower half of the data. So first you have to put the numbers in order from least to greatest. Then you're going to find the middle number. So that's your median. If it's one number, you don't count it. If it's two numbers, you put your median line in between those two. Then you find the median to the left and the median to the right of your data set. So the quartile 1 is the smaller one, the smaller median. So in my data set, my median is at 5. So if you look at the picture, my median's at 5. And then if I look at the numbers that are to the left of the 5, the middle number of those numbers is 3. So quartile 1 is 3. And quartile 3 is the median of the upper half of the data. So again, my median is at 5. And if I look at the numbers to the right of the 5, the middle number there is 7. So quartile 3 is 7. And if I wanted to find my interquartile range, the IQR, I would do 7 minus 3, which gives me 4. Alright, standard deviation is the average of the difference between individual data values and the mean. So the standard deviation formula is the square root of the sum of your x value minus the mean squared. So you're going to do that for every single x value. You're going to take every x value, you're going to subtract it from the mean. You're going to square that value, and you're going to add it to the next one. Then you're going to divide that by the number of data values, and you're going to finally take the square root. So first step is to find the mean. Second step is to subtract the mean from each data value. The third step is to square the difference that you got when you subtracted. The fourth step is to add up all the squared differences. The fifth step is to divide by the number of data values. And then the last step is to take the square root. Alright, so we have a data set here. They want us to find the mean, median, range, interquartile range, and standard deviation. Alright, so the mean is the average. So I add up all the numbers, 21 plus 31 plus 26 plus 24 plus 28 plus 26. And I divide by the number of numbers, which is 6. And that gives me 156 over 6, which equals 26. So my mean is 26. To find the median, I have to put the numbers in order from least to greatest. So there's the numbers from least to greatest, and now I have to find the middle. So I'm going to cross one off from each end until I get to the middle. Well, if I have two numbers in the middle, I add those two numbers and divide by 2. So my median is 26. The range is the largest number minus the smallest number. Well, my largest number was 31. My smallest number is 21, so my range is 10. The interquartile range, I have to find the median from the left and the right. So I'm going to start with my median is in between the two 26s. I'm going to look to the left. The middle number there is 24. Look to the right. The middle number there is 28. So that's quartile 1 and quartile 3. To find the IQR, the interquartile range, I do Q3 minus Q1. So I'm going to do 28 minus 24, which gives me 4. Alright, now the standard deviation. So the standard deviation, I'm going to take all my data values. All my data values, 21, 24, 26, 26 again, 28, and 31. I know that the mean is 26 that I found before. So I'm going to take my data value and I'm going to subtract the mean. So I'm going to do 21 minus 26, which gives me negative 5. Then I'm going to do 24 minus 26, and I get negative 2. I'm going to do 26 minus 26, that gives me 0. Again, 0. 28 minus 26 gives me positive 2. 31 minus 26 gives me 5. Now I'm going to take those differences when I subtract it, and I'm going to square it. So negative 5 squared is 25. Negative 2 squared is 4, because I'm doing negative 5 times negative 5 is 25. Negative 2 times negative 2 is positive 4. 0 squared is 0. 0 squared is 0. 2 squared is 4. 5 squared is 25. So now that I've added the differences, or I've squared the differences, now I need to add the squared differences. So 25 plus 4 plus 0 plus 0 plus 4 plus 25 gives me 58. And I'm going to take that number and I'm going to average it by dividing it by the number of numbers that I have. So I'm going to divide 58 by 6. 58 divided by 6, and then I'm going to be doing the square root of that. But before I do the square root, I need to do 58 divided by 6 gives me 9.67. So the square root of, 9.67 is 3.11. So my standard deviation is 3.11. Okay. So the next one, here's our data set, 37465. To find the mean, I add them all up and divide by 5 because there are 5 numbers in the data set. That gives me 25 over 5, which gives me 5. The median, I have to put the numbers in order from least to greatest. Cross them off from each end. I find that the median is 5. Range is the largest number minus the smallest number, so 7 minus 3, which is 4. IQR, I have to find the median, which is 5. Then I have to find the median to the left and to the right. Well, I only have 2 numbers, so I have to add those 2 numbers, divide them by 2. So 3 plus 4 divided by 2 gives me quartile 1 of 3.5. 6 plus 7 divided by 2 gives me quartile 3 of 6.5. The IQR is Q3 minus Q1, so 6.5 minus 3.5, which is 3. So my spread, one of the measures of spread, interquartile range, is 3. Another measure of spread, the range, is 4. My 2 measures for center were both 5. Mean and median were both 5. Now I need to find one other measure of spread, which is standard deviation. So standard deviation of these numbers, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. My mean was 5. X bar, X with a line over it, that stands for the mean, the average. So the mean was 5. My data values were 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I'm going to take my data value, my X, I'm going to subtract the mean, which is 5, and I'm going to see what I get. So 3 minus 5 is negative 2, 4 minus 5 is negative 1, 5 minus 5 is 0, 6 minus 5 is 1, 7 minus 5 is 2. Then I'm going to square each one of those numbers. So negative 2 squared is 4, negative 1 squared is 1, 0 squared is 0, 1 squared is 1, 2 squared is 4. I'm going to add those squared numbers, and I get 10. 4 plus 1 plus 0 plus 1 plus 4. And I'm going to divide it by 5 because there are 5 digits in my data set. And I'm going to take the square root of whatever I get. So 10 divided by 5 gives me 2. So that becomes the square root of 2, which when I plug that in my calculator, 2 square root or square root button then 2, depends on your calculator, I get 1.41. All right, so that's standard deviation, and that is a measure of spread. Mean and median are measures of center.